What is going on, everybody? You got Tone here, coach of the Miami Marlins, and I'm here bringing you a little bit something different this time around. So I pretty much did this before back with the PPL. When I joined, this is pretty much a similar sort of thing here. So a little bit of backstory before I go any further into this. So first and foremost, as you can tell by my layout, we're in the IBL, and another fact, the IBL is actually the very first Wi-Fi league I actually played in and uploaded to YouTube as a whole. I've been in the IBL since the first season, and I played Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. And I wasn't going to come back for Season 4 just because I had other commitments, but due to some coaches dropping, I did express interest in returning for Season 4 if they needed me to come back, and just so happened someone did drop, the spot was offered to me, and I did accept. So for the remainder of Season 4, I will be back in the IBL under the Miami Marlins team name. I used to do the main Red Clawiters for the IBL and most of my other Wi-Fi leagues, but I'm trying to expand or grow with the Miami Marlins franchise. So what's going to happen is I'm going to break down the team I inherited and the changes I made moving forward with the season. So first and foremost, I want to give a quick shout out to the person who actually drafted and used his team for the first few weeks, being Little Bigness, who, the coach of the Seattle Scissors, who dropped because of personal issues and whatnot. So I'm going to take over his team, and he's done a very, very good job with his team. He's currently at the time of me taking over the team, he is currently 5-2, which is a very, very respectable record. It puts him second place in the conference, and I think like the third or fourth best record in the entire league. So that's very, very commendable. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you the team that he drafted and used throughout the season. And as you see right here, there is his team of Mons, his 11 Mons. You see you see Mew with Z moves, and Munium Z is allowed, so that's a great. Mamoswine, Mega Aerodactyl, Coma-O with Z moves, Coma-Onium Z of course is banned. Salazzle, Umbreon, Jellicent, Tauros, Bruxish, Granbull, Lurantis, and Lurantis. So the thing with the IBL is, first and foremost, it is a tiered draft, so you can pick any Pokemon in any tier you want. It's no restrictions, like you're not forced to pick up a certain tier and then have 400 free points left over. Everything, even the Megas themselves, are in the same tiers as the other Pokemon. So for example, someone like Mega Diancie is a tier 1 Pokemon in the same tier as something like a Celesteela or a Tapu Koko, all that stuff. Another thing to note is making a Pokemon a Zmon will cost you an additional 20 points towards your 1000 points altogether. So that explains why Mew is 200 points. It's a tier 1 Pokemon, so it's 180 points, and making it a Zmon increases it to 200. Same thing with Coma-O. Coma-O is a tier 3 Pokemon in this league, which is 100 points plus the Zmon, plus making it Z eligible gets it 120. And as you see, Mamoswine's a tier 2, Mon, Mega Aerodactyl is tier 2, and the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. Salazzle and Umbreon tier 3, Jellicent, Tauros tier 4, and then Bruxish, Granbull, and Lurantis tier 5. So one of the matches, so for week number 8, which was supposed to happen, that will happen at the end of the season. So after week 12, I will go back and play the week 8 game with this team. So So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So with that out of the way, I want to get into the changes I made to this team. Because it's hard to actually make changes to a team that's already doing so well, and it actually just found out after I acquired the team that he went 5-2, and he never brought Mega Aerodactyl to any of those games, which is pretty incredible, and I found it pretty funny actually. But if it works, it works. But nonetheless, I did make changes to the team to try to make it better for me. So what I ended up doing is I gutted the entire team. Okay, I'm kidding. I didn't drop every single Pokemon. That'd be just straight up absurd if I did that. But nonetheless, I did keep some Pokemon. So the Pokemon I kept, there you go. I kid you not, I dropped 7 Pokemon on this team. And you're probably wondering why I dropped 7 Pokemon. The reason being, there were other Pokemon available in free agency that I felt fit my team better, and more so, I'm not forced to draft 11 Pokemon. As long as I have at least 8 Pokemon, and as long as I'm still within the threshold of 1,000 points, I can draft a team with only 8 Pokemon. And spoilers, as you're going to see, I am going to have a team of only 8 Pokemon heading into the rest of the season, starting with week 9. So with my week 9 opponent, which will be uploaded sometime next week, I'm trying to shoot for Sunday or Saturday, wherever the case may be of those days. But so from week 9 onwards, I'm going to be using this team. Not these mine when I get to the other 4 I picked up. But I'm going to use this team for week 9 through 12, and then the week before the playoffs, I will play the week 8 game with the team you saw prior. So yeah, with that out of the way, I'm now going to talk about the mons I picked up in exchange for the mons I dropped. So as you see, we had 11 Pokemon, we're now down to 4. We have Mew, which is Z-eligible, we have the Mamoswine, we have Mega Aerodactyl, and we have Salazzle. We kept those mons. I feel as though it was the most consistent of the bunch. And for the most part, what I picked up in exchange gives me a lot of things at my disposal. Because if anyone who knows me, I like having a lot of bulk. I like having some bulk, and I like having versatility. Albeit the mons I did pick up aren't necessarily considered versatile, but they do function well in one facet or another, which I will get into right now. So the first thing you'll notice that I gutted my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, or in a sense less thereof of a core, because the team prior to these drops didn't even have a Steel type. It had a Fairy type with Granbull and had a Dragon type in Como. So I figured the first thing I wanted to address was trying to pick up a Fairy type. And while there were some good Fairy-type Pokemon available, stuff like regular Diancie, which I have used in the past, was available. Regular Gardevoir was available, but I didn't want 2 Psychic types. But there was one Fairy-type that caught my attention all the way up in tier number 1, which actually surprised me that it was even still available to begin with. Not gonna lie. And it fits my team very, very well because of what it brings, and I couldn't pass it up. So the first pickup for my free transactions for this team, I got myself a Tapu Fini. So I have absolutely no idea how Tapu Fini did not go drafted, but I'm not going to complain. Having that bulky Fairy type and a bulky Water type all in one, not to mention Misty Terrain to prevent my team from getting burned or toxic. It's just very, very beneficial in a sense, especially considering that Tapu Fini is also a defogger, which helps out my Mega Aerodactyl and offensive variants of Mew. Also helps out with my Mamoswine, so I don't have to worry about risking a Scald Burn, so that's cool. Tapu Fini can get overwhelmed by like toxic spikes or whatnot, because it has to switch in and then get poisoned and then defog him away. that's the reason why I kept Salazzle. Having a grounded poison type to absorb those toxic spikes for my Tapu Fini, and to pressure out those grass type Pokemon that Tapu Fini can struggle with. So it's a really solid 2-mon combo with Salazzle plus Tapu Fini. And of course, having that option of being a dark resist, a dragon check, a water resist, a fire resist, like so many things in one, and even a fighting check, a bug check, all that sort of stuff. So a very good solid utility in Tapu Fini. I've never used Tapu Fini before in Draft League format. It's the first time for me, so it's going to be very, very exciting to see how Tapu Fini can work out in my favor. So after picking up Tapu Fini, the next thing I wanted to address was getting that bulky steel, getting a steel type, or at least trying to find a good steel type to add to this team. And for some reason, there was this one steel type in free agency that just piqued my interest so much, and I absolutely love it to death, and I have it in the PPL, so why not rinse and repeat and go get Ferrothorn again? Okay, so if anyone knows me, they know how much I absolutely love Ferrothorn. It's just so versatile, and I just love it to death. Just having a bulky steel type and a grass type all in one, getting access to Stealth Rock, Spikes, Leech Seed, Thunder Wave, Knockoff, like utility for Ferrothorn goes on. And even better is the fact that I have Ferrothorn paired up with Tapu Fini. They cover each other's weaknesses so nicely. Ferrothorn being weak to fire and fighting, Tapu Fini resists both of those attacks. Fini being weak to grass, electric, and poison. Ferrothorn resists electric, double resists grass, is immune to poison, and Salazzle also resists poison as well. So it's just a great all-around coverage for me, and even Salazzle even resists fire and fighting for Ferrothorn, which is great. At the same time, Ferrothorn can check opposing ground types for my Salazzle, which is also very nice. And same thing with Tapu Fini, can do the same thing. Mamoswine can check those bulky ground types, not named stuff like well, maybe not Grashanon, but it does get freeze shots. That's a different story. But anyway, I got a Fire, Water, Grass core, Salazzle, Tapu Fini, and Ferrothorn. I absolutely love the defensive backbone I was able to acquire in free agency. I'm actually surprised that these two never went drafted and they ended up in my possession, especially in free agency. So I have my bulky core, I got my tier 1 Tapu Fini, I got my tier 2 Ferrothorn. I did pick up 2 more Pokemon. The first one was me picking up my Dragon type to complete my Dragon Fairy Steel core and to replace Kommo. So the main thing I also wanted with my Dragon type, I also wanted to get a Psychic check because, as you see, I have no Dark type anymore because I dropped Umbreon. But luckily for me, there was one Dragon type that is also part Dark available in free agency. So we picked up Hydreigon, and whoopsies. So we picked up Hydreigon, tier 2. I'm absolutely blown away that I got this Dragon Fairy Steel core of Tapu Fini, Ferrothorn, Hydreigon, just because it gives me a Psychic check, it gives me a solid Dragon type, it gives me an ability to run Choice Scarf, Life Orb, it gives me momentum with U-turn, which is one thing my team really lacked, was a momentum grabber, at least the pressure off of Mew. And I can just run all sorts of sets on my Hydreigon, being Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Life Orb. Even defensive sets are very underrated. Even more so, it's the fact that its weaknesses are covered pretty well. And it acts as another fire check for Ferrothorn. They're both weak to fighting, but I have a Mew, a Salazzle, and a Fini, which all resist fighting very well. It also gives me another hazard move with Defog, so if I want a fast emergency Defog elf, I can run like a Scarf Hydreigon with Defog and clear those hazards away if I need to, which benefits my Mega Aerodactyl, and the Mew. So yeah, so that is pretty much Hydreigon in a nutshell. Not really much else to say about that. So my team is looking very, very nice, not gonna lie. But as you see, I'm already at 960 points, so I only have 40 points available, and I need to pick up an 8th Pokemon. And the one thing I wanted with my last Mon was I wanted a electric type to have some sort of Volturn core. I would have went Stunfisk, but unfortunately Stunfisk does not get Volt Switch. So I ripped that idea. However, there was one electric type Pokemon in Tier 5, which I'm actually surprised was A, available, and B, Tier 5 to begin with. I figured it would be Tier 4, but at the same time, I'm not going to complain. I got this Mon in Tier 5, which I feel like it's a steal, but at the same time, can't pass it up. So with that, with my last Pokemon I picked up for 40 points, we got ourselves a Vikavolt. So yeah, Vikavolt, a very powerful wall breaker. Give me a slow Volt Switch. Choice Specs is going to hit extremely hard. And just having that bug electric typing is also very nice. It is weak to rocks, but I have a good amount of hazard removers, like 4 defoggers on this team now. But having slow momentum, the ability to potentially run an agility set, but most of the time it's going to be like a bulky pivot set for my Vikavolt between Volt switching around, having good coverage options like Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, stuff like that. Getting access to Roost too, so I can keep it healthy and run a more supportive, bulky wall breaker sort of set, which is very, very nice. And more importantly, like I mentioned, it does complete my Volturn core between Vikavolt and my Hydreigon with a fast U-turn, slow Volt Switch combination into any one of my Mons. So that is very, very nice. So yeah, so this is the team I'm going to be rocking with starting with week 9, which will, like I said, will be going up probably on Saturday or Sunday. I don't know which day. But overall, this looks like a very, very fun team. Even though with only 8 Pokemon, I feel like I got everything I wanted out of only 8 Pokemon. I have Stealth Rockers, I have 4 Stealth Rockers, Mew, Mamoswine, Aerodactyl, Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn gets Spikes. I have at least 4 Defoggers. I have Momentum. I have Priority. I have a Dragon Fairy Steel Core. I have Bulk. I have Offense, and I have Solid Speed tiers. Excluding the gap between Vikavolt and Mamoswine, which is very, very big. Nonetheless, I am very, very happy with this team. I hope you guys like it as well. If you do, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So for the time being, we are back in the IBL. We're going to play out the rest of the season in Little Bigness's place with this team from week 9 onward. The team from before, like I said, will be played after week 12 is played for week number 8. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. This was like a mini draft recap, or not really draft recap, more of so like a I guess you could call it a draft recap. Not gonna, I can't really find the words to explain what this really is, but nonetheless, I hope you guys do enjoy this team. I know I will, especially considering the amount of things I can run on any of my Mons at any time. It just gives me so much options in an 8-Mon team. My entire team is diverse. I feel like I have a nice combination and balance of both offense and defense, which is very hard to come by in draft league format. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff that goes with it. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this little update sort of thing. So like I said, we're gonna be in the IBL. Also, my week 6 battle in the PPL will be going up tomorrow as scheduled, so be on the lookout for that for Monday. But that's gonna be it from me, guys. I'm gonna get the heck out of here, and until the next time, guys, this is Tone signing off for now. Peace out.